Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a trail camera review. This is going to be a comparison between these two cameras here. They are both the same brand. They are the Gamekeeper scouting camera by Covert. This one's 20 megapixels and this one's 18 megapixels. This one, the 20 megapixel, retails for $160. This one retails for $140. So we're going to put both of them to the test and see if there's a big difference between the two. Alright, so we're going to go over the differences between these two cameras first. Obviously the big difference is this one here is a 20 megapixel, so it's going to have a little bit clearer picture, supposedly, than the 18 one, but that's kind of what we're going to compare to see if the 2 megapixel really makes a difference. The next big difference is if you're going to put these in video mode, the 20 megapixel one does take 1080p, while the 18 only takes 720p. So the next two big differences that I've noticed on the backs of these cameras right now is the 20 megapixel actually has a 52 degree field of view, while the 18 actually has a 58 degree. So the 18 megapixel comes with a 6 degree wider field of view. I don't know how much of a difference 6 degrees is going to make. We'll be able to find that out. But if you're shooting a bigger field, you'll be able to see more deer in the field than with the 20 megapixel. The next difference is the 18 has a 1 to 3 turbo shot burst, while the 20 has a 1 to 10 turbo shot burst. So with the 20 megapixel, you can get up to 7 more pictures in one burst. Both cameras come with the 1.5 inch color viewfinder inside, so you can see the pictures from the camera. So we're gonna go ahead and open both of them up, get batteries in them and an SD card, and we're going to check out the different settings on them. Alright, so first we're going to talk about the Census 1080. This is the 20 megapixel camera. I put batteries and an SD card in it, but I'm going to show you the pretty unique opening system here. So this is just a slide bar. You just slide this open and that gets you into your camera here. The batteries are in an interesting spot. You go ahead and take the whole piece out of the camera and the batteries go on the back, and the card goes right here in the side. Alright, so now that we got the camera open, we're going to go ahead and look at it. Like I said, these cameras come with the viewing screen. So this is pretty nice. So when you set your camera up, you'll be able to see where the picture is going to be taken and what it's going to look like before you even have to come back and check it. Or some people would take the card out and put it into their computer or a portable camera and check it that way to make sure it's right. But here the camera does that for you. So all you got to do to go to the settings is switch this button right here to the menu, to the setup button, and click menu. And it's going to go through all your different settings. So this camera here is going to have the camera mode, so you can do pictures or videos, your photo size. So this camera, like I said, is a 20 megapixel. So I can take pictures in 20, but I can also go down to 3 megapixels and anywhere in between if I want the picture size to be smaller. But I'm going to go ahead and set it at 20 to get the best quality. Video size and video length, I'm not going to mess with those just because we're going to be using this for pictures right now. Photo burst, so I can take anywhere from 1 to 10 pictures in every time this camera takes a picture. It can take 1 to 10. I'm going to stick it at 2 just because it's going to be over corn. I don't want to fill my card up. And then flash power, I'm going to keep it auto, just because that way at night it'll take it auto depending on how dark it is, or in the evening some cameras can get weird. So I'm going to keep it auto so it'll do that on its own. Next settings here is trigger mode. So this camera can do just the normal pictures or time lapse. We're going to keep it normal pictures. Alright, so next setting is the interval. I'm going to keep it at 10. It can go up to 6 hours. But over corn, I don't want to take too many pictures. Then we have the time-lapse interval. I'm not going to worry about that because we're not doing a time-lapse video. And then the sensitivity, we're going to go ahead and just keep it at medium. That'll be enough to get pictures of deer. And if anything does come in front of it, it won't take as many pictures. Alright, so next setting we got is our work time. So you can set this to specifically work during a certain time. Like if you only want to take pictures during the day, you can set it from 7 a.m. to 7 at night, or at night, vice versa. I'm just going to keep it to take pictures 24/7. Lastly, we're going to go ahead and we're going to format our SD card. that'll just make sure that this SD card is formatted for the camera so that the pictures will be saved correctly. Next, we're gonna go ahead and set the clock. I'll do that when I'm done with this. There's a button to default, so you can go back to all the default settings. And then you can set a password to it. I'm not going to, but if you want to set a password so nobody can enter your camera except you, you can do that. And then you can rename it. If you have multiple cameras, you can rename them to maybe an area where they're at, or just do like camera 1, camera 2, so you know which one is which. All right, so that's pretty much for the Census 1080. Next, we're gonna go ahead and look at the Census 720, which is the 18 megapixel camera. We're gonna go ahead and look at the insides of that to see if it's any different. And then we're gonna compare the two and get them both hung up. We already got batteries and an SD card in the 18 megapixel camera, or the Census 720 as it's called. The LCD screen is a little bit different. And when you go ahead and click menu, the menu looks a little different, has some different colors. So we're gonna go ahead and through the setup now. We're gonna keep it on photo mode. Photo size, again, you can change it. This one obviously only goes to a maximum of 18, but it can go lower. Video size, we're gonna keep normal. We're not gonna worry about that right now. The photo burst, we're gonna go ahead again, put on 2 pictures because it's gonna be over corn. Video length, we're not gonna worry about, like I said, because we're not using video. Trigger mode, this is the same one. You can do normal trail camera pictures or the time lapse. We're gonna keep it normal. The interval in between pictures is pretty much the same, 5 seconds to 60 minutes on this camera. We're gonna go ahead and keep it at 10, just like the last camera. Keep the time lapse off, and we're gonna keep that work time off. We're gonna have it running 24/7, and we're not gonna go ahead and set a password or rename this one. Flash power, we're gonna keep on as auto again. And then we're gonna go ahead and format the SD card to the camera since it's the first time it's been in. It has the same option to default set all of the settings back to normal. And then we also have to set the date and time just like the other camera. Both cameras come with the same strap. They're like alligator clips. You just open the clip, feed the string through it, and then close it, and that'll keep it tight to the tree. At first glance, comparing these cameras, there's not a huge difference. One has 2 megapixels less and takes video recording at 1 less setting. The one has more photos can be taken in a burst compared to the other one. And the 18 megapixel camera actually has a wider field of view compared to the more expensive one, which is interesting. You would think that the more expensive one would come with the wider field of view. But comparing these cameras to the insides are both very the same. The settings menu are a little bit different. They're not both set up the same way. The 20 megapixel has different tabs to scroll through. This one is just one page of up and down. That's not a huge deal. That's not gonna make a difference in anything. Both have the same exact workings. You can set a password, you can default your settings, do time lapses, and all that good stuff. So now that we compared both of these cameras, we're gonna go ahead and get them set up to take pictures. The 18 megapixel one is actually Brett's, so that's gonna go on his farm, and we're gonna go ahead and set that up here. And then the 20 megapixel is mine, and that's gonna go over on my farm. And we'll get both of these set up and take pictures for a week or so. And then we're gonna go ahead and compare them to see if there's a big difference in the pictures and see if the 20 megapixel is worth the extra $20 or if it's worth just saving your money and going for the 18 megapixel one.
All right guys, so we just hung this 18 megapixel camera here at one of my main farms that I hunt. We put some corn out here on a lick, and we're gonna let it sit here for about a week, and then we're gonna pull my card. Later on, we're going to be hanging Rem's 20 megapixel cam at his farm, and then we're going to compare pictures to see if which one's the better buy for the price.
All right, guys, so we just got my camera hung, the 20 megapixel one, put some more feed out. We're going to go ahead and let this sit for a week, and we're going to pull both cards like Brett said earlier, compare the pictures, and see which one is better, or if, like you said, if one's worth the money, or if just going with the cheaper one's better. So we'll go ahead and we'll see you guys after we pull the pictures.
Alright guys, so we're back. Me and Remington decided to come out Monday night, so it's been about 10 days since we first set these cameras out to kind of get a comparison of, you know, which one was, you know, a little clearer, which one was worth more money. So we're gonna pull the camera cards today. We're starting here at my farm, and then we're gonna move over to Remington's farm, and we're gonna see what we got on camera. It looks like all the supplemental feeding I put out is gone, so I'm sure that we'll have a lot of pictures to look through.
All right guys, so we just got out to my camera. Like Brett said earlier, they've been out for about 10 days now. All the stuff that I put out too is gone. So we're gonna go ahead and go through the pictures and hopefully find some good ones to show you guys, and that way we can compare the two cameras together. So we got the pictures pulled, and right now you can see I have two pictures on the screen here, and we're gonna compare them. I'm not gonna tell you which one is which yet. I'm just gonna let you look at them. But these are nighttime pictures from both the cameras. As you can see, the one on the left is pretty clear, even though you can't really tell comparative to the antlers, like the one on the right, which has 2 buck in it compared to 2 doe. The camera on the left didn't have any good night pictures of buck, so that's the picture we kind of went with. Very clear. You're able to see the deer. If there were antlers, I'm sure they'd be extremely clear. Now the picture on the right here, the 2 buck, you can see a pretty good outline of the antlers, but the buck on the right, the antlers are pretty blurry, which I'm not sure why that would be. But to go ahead and tell you what camera is which now, the one on the left is actually Brett's, the 18 megapixel, and the one on the right is mine, the 20 megapixel. And to be honest, Brett's camera at night looked really good. This was one of the best night pictures that I had from my camera. And even that, it's just so blurry, and just my honest opinion, I just don't like the night pictures of it. So the 2-day pictures, I'm sure you'll be able to tell which camera is which now based on the location from the last one. But Brett's is on the left, mine's on the right. The day pictures, for the most part, comparing the two of them, were pretty similar. Mine still had some weird shading effects and blurry. Brett's was always really clear. But overall, I would say they were both very similar. Now, as of recording this, Brett and I have both had very different issues with our cameras. His, the one time, took about 7,000 pictures of nothing. Not even like it was windy and the grass was moving. Just 7,000 pictures consistently and killed his battery. And my camera's just been really weird with how the shading effect is. My camera, even in the middle of the day, looks dark. We both contacted their customer support and they've been great about it, so there's nothing bad to say about that. We just want to figure out what's going wrong with our cameras. And as of recording this, I'm actually getting ready to ship mine to them so they can run a test to see if something is wrong with it. So there's nothing bad to say about these cameras. I don't think they're bad cameras. Like I said, the pictures are still pretty good, but I just think mine could be better. I think Brett's pictures, the 18 megapixel one, was so much better than mine. I don't know if it was my location. I don't know if it was the batteries, the SD card. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I talked to customer service and they just want me to ship it back so they can look at it and run tests. So to conclude this video, if you guys enjoyed the trail camera comparison that we did here, make sure to leave a like or leave a comment so we know that you guys enjoyed it and we can continue to do this. This is definitely something we're going to do again at least once or twice yet. There's some other cameras we're looking at trying out to really figure out which one we're going to use the most and maybe get more of, but we definitely want to try some different ones out. So if you want to see more of these, let us know. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. It helps out a lot. It lets us know that you guys want to keep watching our videos, so we appreciate that, and we'll catch you guys next time.